two number twos, meaning the two number two seeds in the East and the West are going to battle tonight. Spurs, Celtics. What are we watching for? Vince, you're up first.
I want to see who's going to guard Jason Tatum. I want to see Jason Tatum be tested tonight, whether that's by Devin Vassell or Stephon Castle, one of those wings that really got under Cade Cunningham, that really got under Kevin Durant the other night. I want to see what they do.
Perk.
I want to see what Jaylen Brown do. Like Stephen A. said, listen, he's going to be guarded by Stephon Castle. Stephon Castle has been known to put people in handcuffs, a la Cade Cunningham, SGA. So I'm looking forward to see what Jaylen Brown is going to do against Stephon Castle.
I haven't necessarily seen anybody put Shea Butter in handcuffs, but I get where you're coming from. But I definitely, listen, I definitely want to see what Jaylen Brown does. Jason Tatum's a given, but this is San Antonio and OKC. I think Jaylen Brown, if he performs at a high level, will secure potentially MVP honors if he plays big time in these next two games.
It's going to tell us all.
Loving that one over in OKC. The standings in the West now, the Thunder, still that top dog out there as the Nuggets slip to 11.5 games back of OKC, but still a team that a lot of people like out there. When we talk about SGA and what he did last night, what matters to him most is where they are in the standings, 51 wins compared to just 15 losses. But it still certainly is a cool moment to be in the history books with Will.
I don't know. It's still a lot to even wrap my head around. And to be honest with you, I try not to even think about it, especially during the season. So much is going on. So many things have to go right for you to get what you ultimately want. And that's gets 100% of my focus. Especially basketball-wise. But obviously, like you said, being in a conversation with a guy like that is it's special. It's crazy to think that where I was 10 years ago, I'd be here today. But you work hard, you trust the process, and you look up, and great things can happen for you, and I'm a testament to that.
Our NBA expert Brad Botkin tapped in with us now. Brad, we see records tied, broken all the time nowadays, but this one right here, it just feels special. SGA with the same amount of consecutive 20 pieces as Wilt Chamberlain. How crazy and significant is this moment?
It's remarkable. And you're right, we do see records fall because of the pace of the game and the three-point shooting, and you have to put all that into context, but 126 straight games with 20 points. It is not easy. These guys make it look easy, Shea being at the top of that list, but it is not easy to put up 20 points in an NBA game. So many circumstances can impact that, aside from having to have the talent, the ability, and the opportunity and the offensive structure to score 20 points every night. You can't have one game where you go 3 for 18 and your shot just isn't there. The big thing for SGA, the way he's been able to get to this number, is even on his off shooting nights, he's able to get to the free throw line so often. And that's going to keep that streak going a little bit longer. But 126 is really, he said it, it's kind of too much to comprehend. Think about this. Only 11 times has he had to go into the fourth quarter needing to score a bucket, meaning he's gotten to 20 points before he's even gotten out of the third quarter. And that's important because over these last 2 years, the Thunder have blown so many teams out. There are a lot of games where he's not playing, if not the entire fourth quarter, for significant stretches of the fourth quarter. So you add all that up and he's still getting to 20 points every time. Think about this, 13 times he's gone under 25. Only 13. In 126 games, he's gone over 25. You're up in the elite scorers of every night when you're over 25 points, and he's doing it 126 consecutive times. Almost never has to go into the fourth quarter to get those points. Again, it speaks to his consistency. It speaks to the guys that he has around him, that the defense can't focus totally on him. He is 1A in terms of their attention, but there's a lot of threats on the Thunder. They get a lot of easy baskets because of their defense. There's a convergence of a lot of factors here, but at the end of the day, to put up 20 points in this NBA against these kind of defenders, 126 straight times is a remarkable feat.
Yeah, I feel like we don't even really fathom how many 126 is, but probably a main reason why when we showed those MVP odds, he is the favorite at minus 1,000 right now, looking like as long as he stays healthy, it's going to be his award to win for sure. Jokic was third on that list right now. When you look at his Nugget squad, who are currently 6th in the West, they're 0-3 against the Nuggets, against the Thunder this year, 0-1 against the Spurs. Can they make it out the West? Because a lot of people still seem to think, okay, don't forget about Denver, but they haven't beat the top 2 teams.
Yeah, they were on a 7-week stretch where they only beat one team with a winning record. Forget about the top teams. So they haven't looked great since Jokic came back. You know, with the Nuggets, the caveat is always when they get healthy, and there is a lot of truth to that. Aaron Gordon is back. They're still missing Peyton Watson. When Aaron Gordon's out, they're not a threat. When Aaron Gordon is there and they're clicking because of the way Jamal Murray is playing this year, they are going to get the benefit of the doubt because of Jokic, because of the chemistry, and the way that they can sort of, you know, something to say flip the switch. The Nuggets have been together so long that they can, I think, flip the switch. And I think they would be a major, major problem for anybody in the playoffs, no matter what seed they end up being. Assuming that everybody is healthy by that point, they've got to keep Aaron Gordon healthy. Of course, Jokic and Murray, they've got to get Peyton Watson back. I think that Cam Johnson is the X factor here. You know, when they made that trade for Michael Porter Jr., it looked like a home run. I mean, everybody said that was a home run deal because you're getting the same player at a fraction of the cost, but he hasn't been the same player. Michael Porter Jr. is getting them 18 points a game. Cam Johnson, though he's shooting around 40% from 3, the volume isn't there. He's only scoring 10 or 11 points a game. And to have that third scorer, Aaron Gordon is a jack of all trades, X factor, defends 1 through 5, and he can have big scoring nights. But that shooter on the wing, that consistent guy that in a playoff game can go out and actually win you a game, take over a game, which was something that Michael Porter Jr. could do. His upside was higher. Cam Johnson hasn't shown that he could be that and go out and shoot you into a playoff win. And I think that's an X factor for the Nuggets. Now, they got Tim Hardaway Jr., who can also fill that role, Bruce Brown. They've got some other guys. They can sort of do it by committee. But I think that third explosive shooting scorer right now is the one missing element. And Cam Johnson can sort of erase what has been a somewhat difficult season for him his first year in Denver if he's able to pop out in the postseason and give them that kind of jump start. So there's a couple factors: health, Cam Johnson, but there's things to like about the Nuggets. In their championship season, they were 11 points worse per 100 possessions when Jokic was off the floor. This year, they've trimmed that to 6, so almost in half. They're surviving the bench minutes a little better. And again, Jamal Murray is, I think, having his best season and has always been a primetime postseason performer. So yes, they've struggled against the best teams, but yes, they deserve the benefit of the doubt. And in my mind, anybody in the top 6 seeds in the Western Conference can win depending on matchups.
And the Nuggets will get to play the Spurs on Thursday, so we'll get a chance to see if they've closed that gap a little bit. Which, speaking of the Spurs, they get the new look. Celtics tonight, new look, of course. Jason Tatum is back. Is this a potential finals preview? Is this a MVP conversation potentially when you look at Wemby and you look at Jaylen Brown, who maybe slipped a little bit, but still, this is good competition tonight?
Oh, no question. Yeah, it's a potential finals preview. But the thing is, like, every night there's like 6 potential finals previews. So there's just so many good teams. If you asked me which team between the Spurs and the Celtics have a better chance of making it to the finals, of course, the path through the East looks a little bit easier for Boston. Jason Tatum has looked unbelievable. You know, we talked about it's kind of hard to wrap your head around what Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is doing in terms of 126 straight 20-point games. What Jason Tatum is doing after 298 days off, a little less than 10 months removed from an Achilles tear. I mean, this guy is looking unbelievable. If you thought that he was going to come back and just sort of be like a little bit of a presence out there, maybe they can get a couple of big nights out of him. No, I mean, this guy is pretty close to being back, and he's still got a month before the postseason starts. I think we can safely say that the Celtics are going to be playing with pretty much a full-strength Jason Tatum. And they were already arguably the most complete team in the Eastern Conference without him. He's doing it within the flow of the offense. The efficiency isn't quite there yet, but his time of possession is not. It was over 3 seconds before. I think last year it's under 3 now. So he's not stopping the ball. He's not interrupting any of the flow that they've started this season without him. He has been incredible. And to add him to your point, Jaylen Brown is not going to win MVP, but he's had an MVP caliber season. And Peyton Pritchard and Derek White, and they offensive rebound. They don't turn the ball over. There are a lot of factors in play for a very good Celtics team. And then the Spurs, yeah, they're a threat. I mean, I think it's obviously high time that we quit talking about them as maybe they're a little ahead of schedule. They're a lot ahead of schedule. They've beaten the Thunder 4 times this year. They're one of the best teams in the league in terms of impact and guys who save points and create them on the other end. Nobody impacts the game right now at the rate of Victor Wembanyama, and he's got depth all around him. He's got shooting. He's got secondary scoring. So there is absolutely no reason why the Spurs can't make it out of the West, and there's no reason why Boston can't make it out of the East. Will they? Probably not. You're probably safer to take the field. But, yes, it's a potential finals matchup.
And that's what makes it so fun. A lot of good teams, but so many ways that it could all break out by the time the playoffs get here. Brad Botkin, thank you so much as we look towards tonight's slate of games. And those Raptors and Rockets will start off at 8 Eastern. Celtics Spurs that we mentioned. If you're not tapped into the Hornets, they've been good this year as well. 10 Eastern. Pacers Kings if you want some losers.